Hi George, it's Mike here from Impact Data, the guys from Squawkbox. Thank you so much for having me over at Caffe Sienna yesterday, just to show you a little bit about Squawkbox and what it can do. We're going to get that set up for you fairly quickly now, and we'll be back in touch next week to get things organised around that. But if you remember, I think we spoke more about your website than we did about Squawkbox, which is okay and timely, because you mentioned you were having a few problems with the website. Website designers are costing you a lot of money every time that you want something changed. You'd like to change your menu, but you just can't seem to get it done on a fast basis. And we spoke a little bit about websites, website design, and how we might be able to help. Anyway, I did mention that I do know a company called Raw Local. Now, I spoke to them yesterday, and they are super excited to help you out. And I thought I'd shoot this quick video to show you some of the things that they can do for you, but also some of the things that you're really missing out on. And it really opened my eyes as well. I'll keep it jargon free and technical free for you, but you'll see very soon that your competitors are basically kicking your ass, and we need to change that really fast. And the good news is we can. Now, what I've done is I've come to your site here, Caffe Sienna. It looks all beautiful and wonderful. Now, I think I mentioned yesterday that this site is actually made in Adobe. Now, a few years ago, most websites were made in Adobe because website designers love Adobe, because you can do some really cool, flashy things. You can make them beautiful, do all these whiz-bang technical things that are great. But the problem is with Adobe is that it's difficult to read. Now, when I say difficult to read, it's not difficult to read for your customers. They can read your website. What I mean is it's difficult to read for Google and the search engines. They find Adobe very difficult to read, and so therefore they can't find out what your website is all about. If they can't find out what your website is about, is that when someone's searching for a cafe, maybe in Chapel Street, they're not going to show your website because they don't know what your website's about. Okay, and the way they do that is to read the code in the background. Now, Adobe doesn't really allow them to do that. Now, the code in the background looks like this. Now, I showed you this website yesterday, Kids 5 a Day. Do you know what I'll do is I'll drop off a pot of Kids 5 a Day for your wife so she can try it out with the kids, and if she loves it, then we can keep going from there. But I'll drop one of those over in the cafe next week. But here's the Kids 5 a Day website. Now, if I go down to this page here, you'll see here that this is all the code that goes on behind the website. This is what makes the website. Now, this is way over my head, George. I don't even understand this. I don't expect you to either. But the thing is that this is what a web designer will create a website using this code. And Google needs to read this code. And if it can't read it, you're in big trouble. And this is where Google finds out about what your website's all about. Okay, so here's the reason why we need to make sure Google can read the code in the back of your website really easily. Now, let's say that someone is planning a shopping trip down Chapel Street, or they may even be on Chapel Street and they want to find a cafe. Now, sure, they could just find one just by looking around, or what they do mostly these days is they get out their iPhone or their iPad and they do a search. And the typical thing that I reckon that they would search for is Cafe Chapel Street. Now, let's have a look at the results that Google brings up when someone types in those words in Google. Okay, so we've got a little map which shows some of the cafes on here. Now, these are the top searches at the top here. Where's Caffe Sienna? It should be in there, but it's not. Okay, so that's not good. Okay, here's the local search. So all these ones down here are pertaining to these little letters of the alphabet here. But you see, Globe Cafe, Yellowbird, Orange. These guys are all your competitors, George, and they are showing up and you guys are not. And I can go down this first page of the search where you ideally need to be, and Caffe Sienna is not there. This is not good, George. We need to change that, and we can do very quickly. Just so that I'm not being completely mad, what I did is that I typed in restaurant Chapel Street, and again, the Social, Bridie O'Reilly's just down the road from you, Borscht Vodka-Tears just down the road from you, the Temperance, TGI Fridays. These guys are all in here, and you guys are not in here. We need to change this. We need to change this very quickly. And this is what we plan to do with your new website. And you can see all of these competing organisations around you, George, but you're not there. We need to change that. Okay, so luckily the guys from Raw Local can help you do this, and the way we'll do that is we will build you a new website. Okay, so I spoke to the guys at Raw Local. This is what they can do for you. Essentially, they're going to make you a new website. They're going to have to. We need to change it from Adobe, and as I mentioned yesterday, they'll make you a nice website in WordPress. So not only will this make you and Caffe Sienna look absolutely fantastic, Google loves WordPress, and as you've just seen, we need Google to love you, so that you get listed and found in the local search, so that people turn up, rather than your competitors' cafe and restaurants. It's as simple as that. We can change that for you very, very quickly. We need to build it so your website is visible and can be found on iPhones, smartphones and iPads. I think I mentioned earlier on, I've got an iPhone sitting right here. If you type in Caffe Sienna and go to your website, it just comes up with a big blank screen, because iPads can't read Adobe, which is not very good for you. We can put the customer sign up form on your website as well, which will link straight through to Squawkbox. That's not a problem at all. And probably one of the good things for you is that we can teach you how to change your own pages, like your menu. So anytime you want, you can make those changes without having to call us or the website designer to do it, which is currently charging you lots of money. So hopefully this will be a money saving for you. Look, I'll go back to them again for pricing. Let's talk next week, and hopefully we can get this sorted out very, very quickly, and get this turned around, because at the moment your website's not being found, George, and we need to change that, and we can change it very, very quickly. If you're watching this on Saturday, good luck today. I'm sure you'll be shouting for the Hawks. I guess I will be too, because they go to Caffe Sienna. And look, let's talk next week, and we can iron out all the details about a new website there and then. Look forward to it. Cheers, George. Bye.